What's going on, folks? Today we're going to be talking about the best high yield savings accounts here in June 2023. These are going to be a continuation of some of the ones that I have continued to cover over the past year. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Looking at the first one, Bread Financial's high yield savings account. They're currently offering a 4.75% APY, which equals a 4.64% interest rate. They do have a $100 minimum opening deposit requirement. Now, Bread Financial's high yield savings account is FDIC insured, just like all the other accounts that we're going to be looking at today. They are going to be FDIC insured. And again, the numbers that you hear today are as current as of this recording. So maybe the next day or in the next month, you may see something different. And the interest with the Bread Financial high yield savings account is accrued and compounded daily, and then it's credited and posted monthly. And that's typically what you're going to see across these different companies. The interest is going to be compounding daily, and you're typically going to get that payment on a monthly basis. Now, some other important features of the Bread Financial high yield savings account: there are no hidden fees, there are no monthly maintenance fees, free ACH transfers, free online statements, free incoming wire transfers, and then unlimited deposits via mobile check, capture, and ACH transfer, which is really great to see. So you can just continue to make all kinds of deposits into your account as you need. Next up are going to be two savings accounts with CIT Bank. CIT Bank is currently offering some of the higher interest rates available, especially now that they have this platinum savings account where you can earn up to 4.95% APY. That is a recent update here in the middle of June. It's great to see that people are going to be able to earn almost 5% APY on their savings accounts. And so with a minimum deposit of $100, you'll be able to open a platinum savings account. However, you do need to have a minimum balance of $5,000 or more, because that's how you're going to earn that 4.95% APY. If you have a balance under $5,000, well, you're going to earn a 0.25% on that balance. So if you can maintain a balance of a minimum of $5,000, then the CIT Bank Platinum Savings is definitely one of my favorites to look into, to have. Now, I have heard that there has been some delays with people trying to open this account, which I could understand because a lot of people are trying to get to this Platinum Savings account. But for some of the people who have this account, I have heard great things about it. People have provided some positive feedback about this account and seeing that interest that they're earning. However, if you are trying to get it now, then there is a possible delay that you will experience when you try to open this Platinum Savings account with CIT Bank. Now, if you are someone like me and you're kind of like, well, I don't know if I'll be able to maintain that $5,000 minimum balance, CIT Bank has a great alternative option called the Savings Connect account, which is the one that we use in our household. They've been great. It stayed competitive and it continues to stay competitive, currently offering a 4.60% APY. The great thing is you're not going to drop down to 0.25% if it goes down below a certain minimum, because there are no minimums to earn that APY. But just like the Platinum Savings account, there is a $100 minimum deposit, so you definitely want to be aware of that. CIT Bank has a pretty decent app where you can deposit checks remotely and make transfers with the CIT Bank mobile app. And just like Bread Financial with CIT Bank, both for their Platinum Savings and their Savings Connect, there are no monthly fees that you have to worry about. And as I mentioned before about the FDIC insurance, yes, Platinum Savings and the Savings Connect accounts from CIT Bank are both FDIC insured. The next account that I want to look at is Basque Bank's high yield savings account, called their Basque Interest Savings account, currently offering a 4.85% APY, which translates to about a 4.74% interest rate. Now, Basque Bank has continued to stay on this list, well, because they have continued to stay competitive with their APY, with their interest rates. Now, I do think that a lot of these other banks are going to raise what they're offering, their APYs that they're offering to customers, hopefully sooner than later, because it's just a matter of time. When you start to see one of these other banks raise their interest rates, other banks will follow suit. And so what we expect, and hopefully what we'll see, is other banks compete with Basque Bank's current offer of 4.85%. There are no fees with Basque Bank's high yield savings account, so that's really good to see. And they do not have a minimum account balance. However, they do state on their site that if an account remains unfunded for 15 business days, then they reserve the right to close that account. So you want to be aware of that. Make sure maybe if you have at least $5, $10, $15 that you can put in your Basque Bank high yield savings account, you can do that. Next up on this list is another high yield savings account that we reviewed in the past, and that's going to be UFB Direct's Premier Savings Account, which is currently offering a 4.81% APY. There are no maintenance or service fees, no minimum deposit requirements. They also give you a complimentary ATM card, which is pretty cool. And then they apparently do have an app that you can do some transactions with your account. So UFB Direct is another one of those online banks that is currently offering a higher yield compared to a lot of your bigger name banks. So 4.81% is not something to sneeze at. It's definitely up there with the 4.85%, definitely higher than CIT Bank's 4.60%. But I do want to highlight that in the past, I've seen comments about customer service. If you currently have UFB Direct, let us know in the comment section below if the customer service from UFB Direct has improved. I would think that over the last several months, hopefully UFB Direct has taken action to improve the customer service that they provide to their clients, to you, to the people who are using their services. And if that's the case, do let us know in the comment section below in case anyone who is considering UFB Direct is able to go look at that and feel confident knowing that when they sign up for UFB Direct, they're going to get the customer service that they deserve. Next up is the Salem 5 Direct E1 savings account that is currently offering a 5.01% APY on every dollar for balances up to $1 million. With Salem 5 Direct, I mean, that is pretty awesome to see, a 5.01% APY. We saw this with some other companies that offered this, and then right away they reduced what they were offering, almost like a gimmick where they tried to lure people into their savings accounts. But from what I've seen over the last 6-7 months, Salem 5 Direct has stayed at the top of the list as far as the banks that are offering the highest APY, offering the highest interest rates with their high yield savings accounts. So again, on every dollar for balances up to $1 million, you'll be able to earn a 5.01% APY. Now, you do have to have a $10 minimum deposit that you have to open that account with, but I think that's doable for the vast majority of us. There are no minimum balance or monthly fees. And then remember, this is going to be FDIC insured, but with FDIC insurance, it's the first $250,000 per depositor that's going to be insured by the FDIC. Salem 5 Direct does advertise that you can do your banking with them through an app that they have, which is pretty good to see, especially in this time of day when you're usually doing a lot of transactions or you're doing some things on your phone. It's great to see when a company does have an app that they offer to use for your banking. Now, I do want to highlight something very important for the Salem 5 Direct E1 savings account. What they say is on their site, E1 savings eligibility is limited to consumers who apply online and who do not have an existing checking or savings account with Salem 5 Bank at the time of the application, except that consumers with an existing E1 checking account are eligible for the E1 savings account. E1 savings earns 5.01% APY on daily balances of 1 cent to $1 million and must be opened with funds not previously on deposit with Salem 5 or Salem 5 Direct. Now listen to what happens with your balances over $1 million. Salem 5 reserves the right to transfer balances over $1 million to a statement savings account, which currently earns an APY of 0.01%. E1 savings may be used to provide overdraft protection for E1 checking. You must deposit at least $10 to open this account. The stated APY applies to new E1 accounts opened as of today's date. Fees may reduce earnings. So that's very interesting to see that the stated APY applies to new E1 accounts. So if you are opening a new account, you're looking for a new savings account to open, then E1 savings with Salem 5 Direct could be that one. Just make sure you're aware of the limits before you go and open that Salem 5 Direct E1 savings account. Now, saving money is not easy, especially when you're trying to save for the future. However, if you have the proper tools and the education, then you can definitely save your way to becoming a millionaire, becoming a multimillionaire, and ultimately achieving financial independence. The video on the screen will teach you more about saving. Click on it, and I'll see you over there. Peace.